Hello, this is a research methodology class. I'm Tarik Rashid, and I take you through this class today. This class is about research impact measures, so how we can gauge a research paper or a publication paper, and how we can gauge the performance of the author or the researcher. So citations could be one of the measurements that we can gauge the paper or the author. So this means that a paper that was published in the past and the current paper might reference to that paper or might use citation for the previous paper. So a published paper is referenced in another paper in the future. That's the definition. So why, how, what are the factors influencing citation counts? First one, innovation. If the paper has some novelty, some originality, or the paper accumulates previous papers' work and put them in one paper, because you would not deal or you would not cover, because of the time, you cannot cover individual papers, so you put them all in one relevant work. Again, some papers that are criticized can be also cited in subsequent research work. Citation shouldn't be the only measurements to see the impact or the value of the research or the paper. There are other measurements so that we can depend on them. Older papers tend to pick up more citations than recent papers. And time consideration also is important. We say that the older paper tend to pick up a lot of citations due to time, and recent papers, they need more time to pick up citations. There's another measurement, research impact, we call half-life of a journal. This is an index, considers both the time a paper has been available and citations it receives, helping evaluate research impact over time. Example, if a journal has half-life 7 years, this means that 50% of the citation in the current year are to articles published in the journal within the last 7 years. Okay, so, and journals with half-life, long half-life index means that they suggest that articles are cited more frequently soon after publications. Now we have two self-tests. We have two examples. Where first journal is called Journal of American Medical Association and Journal of IEEE transactions on neural network and learning systems. The first journal has half-life 10 years. The other journal has half-life 3 years. So this means that in the current year, 50% of the articles in that journals, citation in that journals were picked up within the last 10 years. So it has longer time and, you know, still picks up a lot of citations. While a journal that has half-life 3 years, it means in the current year, the articles that were cited, this journal 50% of the articles were published within the last 3 years. This one has longer, so this one has a long, durable in terms of picking citations, and the second one has less time. So this means that the science or the content in the domain get updated quicker in the second case than the first case. The first case, the content and the science, it is relatively not updated frequently, same as the case 2, IEEE Transaction on Neural Network and Learning System. H index, this is another metric, reflects a researcher's productivity and citation impact. The H index is defined as the number of papers with citations equal or greater than H index value. If a researcher, for example, has published 100 papers, 12 of these papers have been cited 12 times, then the H index of this researcher would be 12. Just to show you a self-test, let's say an author or a researcher has these papers, 4 papers, each one of them cited differently. Paper 100 times, paper 2 15 times cited, paper 3 7 times, paper 4 1 time. So what is the H index here? The H index is 3 for this case. So paper 1, grade 1, so 100 citation, 15 citations, that's H2, and this one also 7 citation, which is greater than the grade of the paper, which is 3. That is H3. So H3, the H index for this test result. And we will have more tutorials after this. Just wait for more exercises that I'm going to provide on H index. Journal impact measures. Journals are assessed based on their overall impact in the research field with yearly evaluation of their performance. 2 primary measures of the journal impact include the impact factor and journal citation report, JCR. So impact factor, this is one factor that can be calculated as the average number of citations per article published in the journal over a specific period of time. So example, if a journal published 235 articles over 2 years, these articles received 32 citations in a subsequent year. The impact factor would be calculated as it is citations in the year 2024 to articles published in 2022 and 23 over the total articles for the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023. So the result will be 322 citation collected in 2024 for the last 2 years over the articles for the last 2 years, 235. So the impact factor is 1.37. So another example, if you have a journal called Advances in Medical Science, over the past 2 years, 22 and 23, the journal published 250 articles. In 2024, articles received 400. So 400 divided by 250, it will be 1.6. 400 divided by 250, so it will be 1.6. There's another measure called source normalized impact per paper, SNIP. SNIP accounts for the number of papers published in a specific field, providing a more equitable measure of journal impact across diverse disciplines. Scopus Journal Rank, SJR. SJR uses the SNIP index to rank journals within specific disciplines, further refining how research impact is evaluated. So these notes provide a comprehensive overview of measures of research impact, emphasizing the importance of understanding citation metrics, the age of publication, and the different indices available for assessing both individual researchers and journals. Now, example on this one, let's say we have two journals. Journal A specializes in a broad, highly cited field, medical research. Journal B specializes in niche, less cited field, anthropological studies. Both journals, assuming, have an impact per paper, IPP, average citation per paper article 1.5. However, because articles in biomedical research generally receive more citation than those in anthropological studies, comparing these two journals directly by their IPP, impact per paper, would be unfair because one of them picks up a lot and the other one doesn't pick up because of the audience. So this is where SNIP normalizes. So that's why we call it SNIP. So SNIP for each journal considers average citation rate in each journal's fields to normalize impact. So journal A might have SNIP of 1, as it is citation rate is average for its field. Journal B, anthropological study, might have SNIP of 2. This higher SNIP reflects that its field achieving impact per paper of 1.5 is significantly above average due to generally lower citation rates in anthropology. Now, interpretation, while both journals have the same IPP 1.5, Journal B higher SNP scores 2 highlights its relative impact within the niche field anthropology. So impact per paper, this is the average number of citations per article in the journal over a specific period. Citation potential of the field, RIP, we call it citation potential of the field. This is the average citation rate of publication within the journal's field. Different fields have different citation behaviors. For instance, medical journals may have higher citation rates than humanities journal. Of course, medical journals, they have higher citation rates than humanities journals. So the formula for source normalized impact per paper, SNIP, could be calculated in this way. SNIP equals journals impact per paper over relative impact potential for the field, RIP. So that's how we can calculate. So if we have a scenario, journal X specialized in biomedical research, journal Y specialized in literary studies, both journals have impact per paper 1.5. Citation potential of the field, RIP, differs because biomedical research has higher average citation than literary studies. So if we count SNP for journal, for first journal, journal X, biomedical research, IPP, IPP for that journal is 1.5 over RIP for that journal 1, so 1.5 And for journal Y, IPP is 1.5, same, but the RIP is 0.5 because that is, we call it impact potential, citation potential of the field RIP. So 1.5 over 0.53. So we now conclude that journal Y has a higher SNP of 3 because it is articles achieve an average of 1.5 citations in a field literary study, whereas citation rates are typically low, RIP 0.5. The SNP scores shows that journal Y is outperforming expectation in its field. So journal X, journal Y, both of them, they came with impact per paper, but the SNP of the second journal is higher. So indicates that journal Y has significant impact within its field. So SNP allows us to see that even though both journals have the same IPP, journal Y articles are more influential within their field due to higher SNP score. Now, common database for citation, Scopus, Google Scholar, and we have Thomson Reuters, previously called Thomson Reuters, but now it's called Clarivate Analytics or Web of Science. Now, there's also another indication called SCImago Journal Ranking. This one, the number of citation of journal articles received over a specific period, typically 3 years. Prestiges of journals. Not all citations are equal. Citation from prestigious journals, high impact journals are given more weight than those from less influential journals. Normalized metric adjusts for the size of journal, and formula the SJR is also calculated as follows. So that's how SJR can be calculated. Sigma Cij over Pj over Aj. Cij, the number of citations from journal I to journal J's articles, the number of citations from journal I to journal J's articles. Pj, the number of articles published by journal J. Aj, the number of articles in journal J that have received citations. So let's work with a scenario so that we can understand all these variables and parameters. Let's say we have SCImago Journal Rank, can be calculated in this way, step by step. Let's say that we have 3 journals, Journal A, Journal B, Journal C, and we want to calculate SJR of Journal A. Now, citation first, we look at how many citations Journal A received from other journals. Okay, it gives us assuming that you have a Journal A is cited by Journal B 5 times, and it's cited by Journal C 3 times. So prestige of citing journals. Next, we look at the prestige of citing journals, Journal B and Journal C. We assume the following weights for prestige for simplicity. Journal B has a prestige score of 0.8, assuming a moderate impact journal, and Journal C has a prestige score of 0.6, again assuming a lower impact journal. These weights reflect how influential the citing journals are. Adjusting for citation, the citations from each journal are weighted by the prestige of citing journal. So the citation received by the journal A can be adjusted in this way. citation from Journal B, we said that 5 citations receive Journal A from citation B. We multiply by the weight of Journal B, 0.8. It will be adjusted 4 citations. Again, citations that were collected, Journal A from Journal C, 3 citations multiplied by its weight, 0.6, 1.8. So Journal A has published 10 articles, 8 articles from B, C, 6 articles from C. Normalize our formula, so we are adding up both adjusted citations from B and C journals, 4 plus 1.8, it will be 5.8, over the total number of articles published by Journal A, which is 10. So SJR for Journal A is 0.58. That's how we calculate it. So SJR score of 0.8 means that average each article in a journal received 0.8 citations from other journals. But these citations have been weighted by the prestigious of citing journals, Journal B and Journal C. Thank you very much for this class, and stay tuned for the next class about tutorials on how we can measure H-index. Stay tuned for that class. Thank you very much.